Hey guys, it's Sheri Vegas here, and today I'm going to show you a beach-inspired resin art tutorial which has been highly requested by everyone, so I hope all of you enjoy. To create your beach-inspired resin art, you're going to need a wooden board. I've chosen one that's got a really nice grain through it, as I'm going to use that as the sand for my beach artwork. Then you're going to need some resin. Today I'm using the Barnes Clarity resin, and it's just equal parts that I've mixed together in a measuring jug, and then I am pouring that out onto my board to create my sand. If you wanted to, you could actually use real sand and apply that where the wood is, and then apply your resin over the top. To stick down sand, I would recommend gluing it first and then applying the resin over the top, but for this one I'm just going to use the wood grain effect to create my sand. On part of my board I've just applied some clear resin, as that is going to be the beach, and then to start creating the waves you're going to need to use a few different coloured blues. So the blues that I'm using today are the tints from Just Resin, and then I've also slowly added more and more and a little bit of black to create the different coloured blues. So to start with, I'm going to use a really light blue and slowly get deeper as I go along. So I'm just going to be pouring the different coloured blues in lines and then blending them together. You can use whatever colour blues you like. You can either go super light or you can go really deep. It's completely up to you and how you want your board to look. Now you can blend your blues in a few different ways. You can either use your fingers and blend them that way, or you can also use a blow dryer or a heat gun. It's completely up to you, but you want to make sure that they're nice and blended so that way it looks like a fading of colour. Once you're happy with how your water is looking, you can now start adding the white to create your waves. I am just mixing a little bit of resin blast, like 2 drops, you don't need a lot, a little goes a long way, and then I'm just pouring my white along the edges of the water. You can do this really randomly, it doesn't have to be perfect because waves aren't perfect, and you can do as much or as little as you like, it's completely up to you. Now if you don't have Resi Blast, don't worry about it. Just make sure that you use a hairdryer to push your waves and that will create the effect. I'm just using a little bit of Resi Blast just to help. I also recommend a hairdryer over a heat gun. I'm only using a heat gun today because I couldn't find where my resin art hairdryer has disappeared off to. So a heat gun does work, as you can see, but it's not as strong as a hairdryer, and I would have preferred to have a hairdryer just because I find it will give you a better result. So it literally is just a few steps to create your own beach-inspired resin artwork. If you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, as it really does help me out. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, as I post new tutorials all the time. And if this tutorial did inspire you to create your own beach themed resin artwork, I would love to see them, so make sure you tag me on Instagram as Sheri Vegas.